From a despised cockroach of the sea to a luxury icon gracing Michelin tables, lobster has undergone one of the strangest transformations in food history. Today, nearly 300,000 tons are harvested worldwide each year, fueling a seafood trade worth over $5 billion. Welcome to AgroWorks USA, where we uncover the hidden stories behind the world's most extraordinary foods. In this episode, we'll journey into the cold Atlantic waters off Maine and Canada, where generations of fishermen haul traps through raging seas. We'll see how strict regulations protect the species and how every lobster is carefully sorted, banded, and kept alive in icy tanks. Then we'll step inside modern processing plants where high-pressure systems, rapid freezing, and meticulous hands transform these crustaceans into premium exports bound for fine dining restaurants around the globe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you never miss an incredible farm-to-table story from AgroWorks USA. Lobsters are among the ocean's most remarkable survivors. Many live 50 to 70 years, with rare individuals surpassing a full century. Their anatomy gives them a unique advantage: a massive crusher claw capable of exerting over 100 pounds of pressure, and a sharper pincer claw designed for surgical precision. Beyond their extraordinary biology, lobsters also stand out for their nutritional profile. Compared to shrimp, they deliver roughly 1.5 times more protein, while remaining exceptionally low in fat. They are also rich in zinc, selenium, and vitamin B12, micronutrients that support immune health, brain function, and energy metabolism. These qualities help explain their premium reputation on the global market. In North America, lobsters are classified into two main categories: hard-shell lobsters, with thicker shells and firmer meat prized for export and fine dining, and soft-shell lobsters, freshly molted, more delicate, and mainly consumed locally. Whether shipped live across continents or processed into frozen tails, claws, and vacuum-sealed meat packs, lobsters have become a versatile luxury that bridges both domestic demand and international trade. The global lobster industry is anchored in the cold, rugged waters of the North Atlantic, especially along the coast of Maine and the Canadian Maritimes. These regions provide the perfect environment: rocky seabeds, kelp forests, and depths of 30 to 50 feet, where lobsters feed, spawn, and take shelter. Timing is everything. The main harvest season begins in early summer, typically June, when rising water temperatures draw lobsters closer to shore. Activity peaks through late summer and early fall, creating the most favorable conditions for trap fishing. During these months, fleets of small boats set out daily, racing against weather, tides, and time. The scale is staggering. In Maine alone, more than 5,600 licensed lobstermen deploy between 500 and 800 traps per vessel, supported by a massive network of dock crews, dealers, and processors. This fishery sustains over 39,000 jobs across the state, making lobster not just a delicacy, but a cultural and economic lifeline. Passed down through generations, the annual lobster season blends tradition, community, and a multi-billion-dollar global trade. Are you surprised that more than 5,600 fishermen in Maine make their living from lobster? Would you like to experience a trip at sea with them? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a new AgroWorks USA video. At the heart of the lobster industry is an ancient method still thriving today: trap fishing. Each trap begins with bait, most often herring or cod, selected for its strong odor. The smellier the bait, the more it draws lobsters roaming the seabed. Built from durable wire mesh, traps are engineered with one-way entrances that let lobsters crawl inside but prevent escape. For sustainability, every trap includes a small escape hatch, allowing undersized lobsters and bycatch to return safely to the ocean. Once prepared, traps are lowered into the water, typically at depths of 30 to 50 feet, and marked by brightly painted buoys drifting on the waves. Fishermen set hundreds in a single trip, leaving them overnight or for up to 24 hours before hauling them back aboard. Regulations are strict. Only lobsters measuring 3.25 to 5 inches across the carapace and not carrying eggs may be kept. All others, too small, oversized, or egg-bearing females, must be released immediately. This blend of tradition, regulation, and respect ensures the lobster fishery remains sustainable for generations to come. While traps dominate the lobster industry, a smaller group of fishermen pursue a more daring approach, diving directly into the sea. This method is common in shallow waters, rocky reefs, and coral crevices where traps are less effective. Equipped with wetsuits, oxygen tanks, and flashlights, divers descend into narrow spaces to spot lobsters hiding among rocks. The clear advantage lies in selectivity. Only mature, healthy lobsters are taken, reducing the capture of undersized individuals or egg-bearing females. This makes diving one of the most sustainable, low-impact methods of harvest. Yet the risks are significant. Divers contend with powerful currents, jagged rocks, and the ever-present danger of being pinched by the lobster's crushing claws. The physical demands are intense, requiring strength, stamina, and precise underwater skills. Because of its difficulty, diving is practiced at a much smaller scale, often by highly skilled specialists. The lobsters collected this way are typically destined for fine dining restaurants and command premium prices, not just for their quality, but for the human effort required to bring them from the ocean floor to the table. Do you think diving makes lobster harvesting feel more exclusive? In your opinion, does this job demand more physical strength or precise skill? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Once a lobster trap is lifted on deck, the race against time begins. The first task is to band the powerful claws with rubber strips, preventing injury to both fishermen and other lobsters. This simple step preserves quality and ensures the catch arrives at market intact. Next, the lobsters are placed into onboard holding tanks filled with clean seawater. These tanks are fitted with aeration systems that mimic natural conditions and keep oxygen levels high. Temperature is carefully maintained between 2 and 4 degrees, cold enough to slow metabolism and reduce activity, but not so cold as to shock or kill. During peak season, crews labor 16 to 20 hours per day, constantly checking tanks and replenishing bait for the next round of traps. A single vessel can carry several tons of live lobsters, all dependent on stable water quality to survive the journey back to shore. For the fishermen, freshness equals profit. Only lobsters that arrive strong, healthy, and undamaged can command premium value in the global market. When lobsters arrive at the processing facility, the first step is a strict health inspection. Workers check reflexes, shell color, and claw strength to ensure only healthy individuals move forward. They are then separated into 2 main categories: hard-shell lobsters with firm meat and thicker shells, prized for export and fine dining, and soft-shell lobsters, freshly molted, more fragile, and typically consumed locally. From here, lobsters are transferred into large recirculating seawater tanks designed to replicate natural ocean conditions. Every parameter, oxygen, salinity, temperature, and pH, is closely monitored by sensors, keeping mortality rates below 2% and preserving flavor and texture. For lobsters not sold live, modern processing begins. Many are placed into high-pressure processing, HPP systems, where pressures up to 1,000 megapascals separate the meat from the shell in just a few minutes, without the use of heat or chemicals. The meat is then rapidly frozen at 40 degrees Celsius, vacuum-sealed and packed into standardized cartons. Whether destined for export markets or domestic retailers, this meticulous chain of inspection, sorting, and processing ensures that each lobster maintains the premium quality expected worldwide. Do you believe freezing lobster at 40 degrees truly preserves its natural flavor? Let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep exploring with AgroWorks USA. Behind the luxury of lobster lies a constant struggle for sustainability. In the United States and Canada, regulations strictly forbid keeping lobsters under 3.25 inches or over 5 inches, as well as any female carrying eggs. These measures protect breeding stocks and help sustain the fishery year after year. Trap designs also include escape vents, ensuring undersized lobsters and non-target species can return safely to the sea. Yet challenges remain. The Gulf of Maine is warming faster than almost any other ocean region, pushing lobster populations northward and raising questions about the fishery's future. At the same time, some critics argue that handling and banding live lobsters causes unnecessary stress, fueling debate over animal welfare and seafood supply chains. Supporters counter that strict rules, traditional practices, and evolving technology make lobster one of the world's best managed wild fisheries, an industry that balances human demand with stewardship of a fragile marine ecosystem. Hidden among coral reefs, groupers take nearly 24 months to grow to 30 kilograms. Yet a single harvest can be worth tens of thousands of dollars before these giants appear under the golden lights of Michelin-starred tables. What turned this once elusive predator into the sea gold of modern aquaculture? Welcome to AgroWorks USA, where we reveal the hidden stories behind the world's most extraordinary foods. In the next part, we'll explore the incredible grouper industry, from hatcheries where fragile larvae are raised to massive sea cages stretching across the ocean. We'll uncover how advanced feed formulas, automated monitoring, and meticulous farming methods transform wild reef hunters into one of the most valuable farmed fish on the planet. And finally, we'll follow each grouper into modern processing plants, where precision cutting, quick freezing, and vacuum sealing prepare them for global markets. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to join us on more journeys from farm to table. Groupers are remarkable reef predators, known for their firm white flesh and slow but steady growth. One of their most unusual traits is sequential hermaphroditism. Many start life as males and later transform into females once they reach a certain size or age. This adaptation helps sustain reproduction in the wild and makes the species highly adaptable to aquaculture. At full maturity, groupers can exceed 30 kilograms, with dense, muscular bodies that deliver premium meat favored by chefs worldwide. On the farming side, grouper has grown into a global industry. China dominates, producing more than 60% of farm supply through vast hatcheries and offshore cages. Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia also contribute heavily, particularly through coastal cage systems. Meanwhile, the United States functions mainly as a consumer market, importing hundreds of millions of dollars worth annually. With a grow-out cycle of 18-24 months to reach market weight, grouper farming is labor and capital intensive, but yields strong profits, securing its status as sea gold. The journey of farmed grouper begins in specialized hatcheries, where broodstock are carefully selected for size, health, and genetic quality. To stimulate spawning, farmers manipulate light, temperature, and sometimes introduce hormone treatments. Once fertilized, eggs hatch into tiny larvae that are extremely fragile, requiring pristine conditions to survive. The larvae are kept in indoor tanks filled with seawater, filtered through mechanical, biological, and UV systems to remove pathogens. During their earliest days, they are fed live feeds such as rotifers and brine shrimp, Artemia, providing the proteins and fats needed for rapid growth. As they develop, the diet gradually shifts to micropellets, helping them adapt to the feed used in grow-out systems. This stage is critical. Survival rates in the wild are often less than 1%, but modern hatcheries can achieve 30 to 50% survival, a dramatic improvement that makes commercial farming viable. After several weeks, the juveniles, now stronger and more resilient, are ready to be transferred into larger nursery tanks or sea cages, marking the beginning of their long grow-out phase. Before we dive into the next section, hit the like button if you'd love to see the process of grouper hatching from eggs into tiny fry. Do you think UV treatment and biofiltration are effective ways to protect these fragile juveniles? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a new video from AgroWorks USA. Once juveniles leave the hatchery, they enter large-scale grow-out systems designed to raise them to market size. Two main models dominate production: indoor tanks, often made of concrete or composite materials, allow precise control over water quality, lighting, and temperature. These systems are favored in areas where biosecurity is critical, as they reduce exposure to disease and predators. The more common method, however, is sea cage farming. Offshore cages, round or square, and often 10-20 meters across, are anchored in coastal waters with steady currents. The open environment provides continuous water exchange, ensuring oxygen-rich conditions that promote healthy growth. Farmers monitor oxygen, temperature, and pH using sensors, while cameras track fish behavior and feeding activity. Nutrition is the backbone of successful grouper farming. In their juvenile stage, groupers are gradually weaned from live feed onto formulated pellets. These pellets, either floating or sinking, are made from fish meal, squid meal, and fish oil, enriched with vitamins and minerals to maximize health and growth. Because grouper are carnivorous, their diets must be high in protein, often exceeding 45% crude protein content. Feeding is carried out multiple times a day, sometimes by hand, but increasingly with automated feeders that release precise amounts on schedule. This reduces waste, ensures even distribution, and lowers the risk of water pollution. Farmers also monitor feeding behavior through underwater cameras, adjusting portions based on appetite and activity. Consistent feeding and careful monitoring yield steady growth rates, with groupers gaining mass while maintaining firm texture and premium flavor. Research is now exploring alternatives to fish meal, such as soybean, algae, and microbial proteins, to cut costs and improve sustainability. Balancing nutrition, efficiency, and environmental impact is key to making grouper a profitable, yet responsible seagold for the future. Do you think grouper feed should rely more on traditional fish meal, or should we prioritize plant-based alternatives? Let me know your opinion in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. After nearly 2 years of careful rearing, the grouper's journey reaches its most demanding stage, harvest. At sea cages, farmers gradually tighten the nets, herding thousands of fish toward the center. From here, workers use large, soft mesh nets to lift the groupers one by one. This gentle approach is essential, as even minor scratches can reduce commercial value in high-end markets. Harvested fish, often weighing 20-30 kilograms, are immediately placed into tanks filled with oxygen-rich seawater. This step reduces stress and preserves the firmness of the flesh. Onboard, crews continuously monitor water temperature and salinity, ensuring conditions remain stable throughout the journey back to shore. The economic stakes are immense. A single harvest event, representing more than 2 years of labor and investment, can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. Every movement, tightening nets, handling fish, checking tanks, must be performed with precision. For farmers, successful harvesting is not only a financial milestone, but also the culmination of skill, patience, and technology working in harmony. Once groupers reach the processing facility, speed and precision become the priority. The fish are first passed through high-pressure washing systems where cold jets remove sand, scales, and surface impurities. From there, they are graded by size and condition. The largest specimens, often 30 to 50 kilograms, are reserved for premium customers and require skilled butchers to fillet by hand, ensuring each cut is clean and uniform. Commercial-sized groupers are moved along automated lines. Here, workers perform the initial gutting before machines handle filleting, skinning, and portioning. Every fillet is then inspected under strong lights, with technicians using steel tweezers to remove even the smallest bones, since a single missed bone could cause rejection in strict export markets like Japan or the EU. To lock in quality, fillets are rapidly frozen using IQF, individual quick freezing technology, and then glazed with a thin layer of ice to prevent freezer burn. Finally, each package is vacuum sealed, labeled with QR traceability codes, and boxed for distribution to restaurants and supermarkets worldwide. Are you surprised that every single grouper fillet is inspected under strong lights and deboned one by one? Share your reaction in the comments, and don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to keep exploring with AgroWorks USA on our next journeys. Beyond its commercial appeal, grouper is also valued for its impressive nutrition. Its flesh is firm, white, and delicately flavored, with a protein content exceeding 20% while remaining low in fat. Compared to tuna, grouper provides nearly double the omega-3 fatty acids, yet carries only a fraction of the mercury found in larger pelagic species. These qualities make it both a luxury ingredient and a healthy option for consumers. On the market side, grouper has become one of the most profitable aquaculture products. China dominates demand, consuming over 60% of global supply, where live groupers are a staple of banquet dining and luxury restaurants. The United States and Europe focus on premium fillets, importing hundreds of millions of dollars worth each year. Prices are high. Grouper often sells for 2 to 3 times the value of common whitefish, reflecting both quality and scarcity. A single large harvest can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, turning grouper into true sea gold and a cornerstone of global seafood trade. Grouper aquaculture offers a promising alternative to relieve pressure on wild stocks, which have been heavily overfished in many regions. By raising fish in controlled systems, farmers can produce a stable supply while protecting natural populations. Yet this industry faces serious challenges. Disease outbreaks remain a constant risk in dense farming environments, and dependence on fish meal and fish oil keeps feed costs high while adding strain on other marine resources. Environmental concerns also loom large. Waste and uneaten feed from sea cages can accumulate on the seabed, leading to nutrient pollution and damage to fragile coral ecosystems. To address these issues, researchers are developing sustainable feeds based on soy, algae, and microbial proteins, while farms are adopting recirculating aquaculture systems, RAS, and deploying IoT sensors to monitor water quality in real time. The future of grouper farming hinges on striking a balance between profitability, ecological responsibility, and meeting rising global demand. From the icy traps of Maine to the vast sea cages of Asia, both lobster and grouper embody the extraordinary journey from ocean to table. Each represents more than a delicacy. Lobster, once scorned as sea cockroach, is now a luxury worth billions. Grouper, once a hidden reef predator, has become sea gold through modern aquaculture. Their stories highlight the tension between tradition and technology, abundance and sustainability, profit and responsibility. As consumers, we enjoy the flavor, but behind every bite lies years of labor, risk, and innovation. Would you still savor them the same way, knowing the struggles behind each harvest? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more AgroWorks USA stories.